Alright, continuing the tour. This here is these two boxes on top of this big one. These two have light kit pieces in them. Now, if you're on Facebook, you should have heard of the Great Casablanca Monte Claire Disaster. And if you don't know what that is, well, too bad, I'm not going to talk about it. There's pieces of broken light kit in here, that's all I'm saying. And in the bottom, let's just take these boxes off. I'm probably going to unpack these anyway and throw the remainders of the lights away. On the bottom is a view fan spinner. This is probably going to be traded to Andrew Gould, Charles Smith for something out of his collection when I meet up with him in a few months. Let's get this box. It's kind of hard to handle a box with one hand. Oh well, we'll take care of it later. This is a box with a bunch of packing material in it. This is where my Casablanca Four Seasons came in. I'll get to unpacking it later. And this used to be my nightstand, this dresser here. On the bottom you can see my toolbox. There's a bunch of tools in there for repairing fans and things of that nature. And on top of it you can see blades from my Casablanca Panama, the 1984 version with flick mode and its gallery edition. And in that bowl are just the bottom screws for the light kit. Over here, I don't really consider these collection fans anymore because I collect vintage fans, not junk anymore. But these aren't junk. All of that stuff over there, all of that is junk. That is all crap fans that are poorly made. Fanimation doesn't make poorly made fans, but I don't consider them collection items anymore. That's my Fanimation Embrace. I took the light off of it and put the bottom cover on because the light bulb burnt out. And that's my Fanimation Pylon. I think that's the first Fanimation fan I've ever got. The bottom cover is right there. Blades for the pylon, instructions for the embrace there, blades for the embrace there. And this here is my spare parts bin. There's pull chains, controls, capacitors, remote receivers, tape, mounting brackets, downrod balls, all sorts of fun spare parts. And up here, this is also kind of a mess. This here is a brushed copper or antique copper Casablanca K2 without a socket. You can see the tag there. This came with my Four Seasons. And all of these here are sockets from Casablanca K4s and K4Ss. I'm selling each of these for $5 a piece, so if you're interested, just leave a comment, we'll work out the details from there. That's the hang true from the Casablanca Four Seasons 3, which I'm selling. This is a Casablanca K5L, I think, or K4L. It's this loop arm fitter, sandwich style. I'm probably going to end up putting this on the Century. And this is a Casablanca K1. You can see the tag there. This has a socket. I'm probably going to put this on the Century as well. Have a 5 light on the Century. This is the switch housing from the Casablanca Four Seasons 3. And I need spray paint because this. The light wouldn't come off. The light was in bad shape. And the pull chain was broken. So I tried to take the light off. And I tried and I failed. The thing was just too stuck on there, so I used a torch to try to get it off. And eventually I did get it off, but not with a torch, with another tool. So now I need to get spray paint and spray paint over this. And that little screw in there is from a Casablanca. This is a canopy. This is a hang true from the Monte Claire that I have. It's in bad shape, not bad shape, but there's paint splotched all over it. And in the canopy, I keep pull chains, pull chain extensions, pull chain pendants, wire nuts, pull chain connectors, all sorts of fun stuff in there too. This is the hang true for my Four Seasons, my polished copper Casablanca Four Seasons. Polished copper is one of my favorite finishes. And speaking of polished copper Casablanca Four Seasons, here's my polished copper Casablanca Four Seasons. This is one of my favorite fans in my collection currently, other than the antique original that I have. I converted this to 3-speed because I have decided from here on out every Slumber Quiet fan that I come across that is not working, I will replace with 3-speed, because 3-speed is not at all faulty, does not have a fail rate. It's trustworthy, while Slumber Quiet is not. This had a failed Slumber Quiet in it. So, I'm sick and tired of trying to fix Slumber Quiet. So this is 3-speed. And it's very fast. It's insanely powerful, and it's very loud. Put it back to low. And here's the rest of the Casablanca memorabilia in here above my bed. And if you're wondering where the music is coming from, my computer's right there. I just put it on to set the mood, I guess. This is my Casablanca dealer sign. It has a wooden frame, but does not have the design around it. The yellowish pale design. As you can see, it says Casablanca, world's finest ceiling fans, an investment in quality. Pasadena, California. And there's a 20th century with reverse pitch blades on it with stencil blades. I hope to find a legitimate 20th century one day. Actually, I think I am getting an IntelliTouch 20th century pretty soon, so that should be pretty cool. And this is my Casablanca dealer clock. This is actually, it doesn't work that well. The battery terminal is very flat, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to keep fixing this every time it stops. So I just have it permanently set to 12 o'clock. I may try and fix it later, but for now it's a good aesthetic piece for the room. Another thing that's not really part of my collection is this rose gold Fanimation Urban Jet. It looks a lot like polished copper. You can see it's almost entirely similar, but it's not polished copper. It's rose gold. I got this for Christmas this year because I love copper and rose gold and things of that nature. I'm not a fan of pink, but I love rose gold. My former iPhone used to be rose gold. On the floor is a Casablanca Bell Canopy Zephyr. This used to be variable speed, but the original owner actually converted it to 3-speed. I need to get a pull chain for it and stick it in there. I think I'm going to end up trading it. I'm not sure. But yeah, you can see there's a 3-speed board in there, and the sideband is popping out. So I need to go in there, put the rest of the screws in, and fix it. And there's the Casablanca Four Seasons 3, which is on the floor without a housing. And this is a polished copper Casablanca K1. I think I'm going to sell this. I could actually make like a decent amount of money for it because it's polished copper. It's a rare finish. The wires are not in good shape, but other than that, it actually does work. And this is the hang true for the Zephyr. Mounting bracket's already in there. And this is the globe that was on with the Four Seasons before I threw out the lights, and now I just have a spare globe. Alright, what's next? Over here. So this is where the majority of my fan collection is. It's not, my fan collection isn't, it's not big. It's growing at a rapid pace though. So on top here we have two Hunter originals. This one is Robbins and Myers, and this one is not. I believe this one is from 1986, and this one's from 1991. This one has the reverse switch on top of the motor. You can see it's right there. And this one does not. I think it's on the other side. Yeah, it is. This one has the more clickier pull chain on it. And this one has the softer sounding one. This one's better made. Oh yeah, and the original down here, that actually has an isolation ring on it, which is pretty cool. So yeah, those are the two originals. I sold one of them. And all three of these originals came together along with another fan that I'm getting to momentarily. Down here is my Casablanca Panama 5 IntelliTouch 1984 RMM1 Gallery Edition. It does not have shades and it works well. I need to oil the bearings, but that's for a later date. This is a Hunter 1930s original in cobalt blue. This is incomplete and it's actually in pretty bad shape. There's no canopy. The mounting bracket is bent out of whack. There's no light, so it's definitely a project fan. But it does work, and the blades are not in good shape either. Down here is my Casablanca Cascade from Matt Cody. Brackets are there, hang trues there. It's Casablanca's first outdoor fan. This one specifically is from 1994. and the bottom plate is behind this fan here, which is the Casablanca Montclair. This fan is IntelliTouch. I oiled the bearings and it works pretty good now. I need to get a replacement a switch cap for it, but I have one on standby that I'm waiting to pay for from another collector. And this is the fan that was also sold with the originals. There's a better look at the originals. This is a Casablanca, not a Casablanca, I keep saying Casablanca, I'm sorry. This is an Emerson Turn of the Century Deluxe, sold at Sears. This has an Emerson KB55 or K55B motor in it. It's very powerful. The only thing that's the downside about it is that it's missing the remote. Down here is my Casablanca Delta that came with that Zephyr that's on the floor. This fan works flawlessly. The bearings are in good shape. Really nothing wrong with it. And there's a bunch of miscellaneous down rods and things. Yeah. Over here is my Homestead Santa Cruz from 1992 in the ultra rare Verde green finish. I think I'm the first collector to have one of these. I'm thinking about selling it. I'm not sure. The only reason I want to sell it is because it's just taking up a lot of space because of this stupid long down rod. Yeah, I actually slept with this over my bed sleeping one time. Let's just say my parents were horrified. These are the blades for it down here. And down here, in this destroyed box, we have my Hunter 22206 original. Now, this is actually not really classified as an original. It's the last version of the Hunter original that used the antique-style 1.9 amp motor. I think that's how much it was. This is a very powerful fan, and I got this for free. It's my first original, and I'm never getting rid of it unless I'm really tempted to trade it for something far more valuable or something. I'm not sure. Not far more valuable. That'd be an unfair trade. This is my SAF PX52. The light kit needs some repairs. It's a hugger with a giant motor in it. In the back there is my, I don't know what brand it is, I think it's Alaska or something. It's a JCPenney sold fan. It's remote controlled and it's somewhat new in box, which is pretty cool. Over here we have all the blades for the fans on the shelf shown previously. Those are the 1930s original blades, the white original blades, the brass original blades, the Turn of the Century Deluxe, the Delta, the Zephyr, which is there, and the Cascade, and the brackets are right there. And the Montclair blades are in the back because the bottoms of them are not flat. They're badge style blades, so they have, the bracket itself is on top of the blades, so you can't stack them on top of each other without them falling off each other, so they're stacked back there. I need some wire management back here. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my entire fan collection. Oh, I didn't show this. Duh. This is my Casablanca Century 9000. It's one of my favorite fans in my collection. In the rare polished brass finish. This is not a rare finish, but this fan in this finish is actually rare. I think only 2 other collectors have this in this finish. Maybe 3. This is the only fan in my collection where the Slumber Quiet is operational. You can see the board and the mess of wires up there. This has a K4 on it. The K4S I needed because there were problems with the one on that Panama. This K4S here was the one that came off the Century. So now I have this on here, and I need to get a Victorian bottom plate because these actually had Victorian bottom plates.